The Irish potato famine of 1845-1852 is one of the most tragic events in Irish history. During this time, Ireland experienced a devastating famine that resulted in the deaths of approximately 1 million people and the emigration of another million. The worst year of the famine was undoubtedly 1847, a year marked by unimaginable suffering, widespread starvation, and a desperate struggle for survival. The year 1847, often referred to as Black 47, was the peak of the famine's devastation. The failure of the potato crop, which had been the main source of sustenance for a vast majority of the Irish population, led to widespread famine and starvation. The Irish peasantry, already living in poverty and dependent on the potato for their survival, were plunged into a state of destitution and despair. As the potato blight continued to ravage the crops, food shortages became severe, and the price of food skyrocketed. The poor and marginalized communities, already struggling to make ends meet, were hit the hardest. Families faced the heart-wrenching choice of either watching their loved ones waste away from hunger or venturing out in search of aid, often to no avail. The impact of the famine was exacerbated by the inadequate response of the British government. The ineffective relief efforts and the policies of laissez-faire exacerbated the suffering of the Irish people. The British government, under the leadership of Prime Minister Sir Robert Peel and later Lord John Russell, failed to take decisive action to alleviate the plight of the starving Irish population. This lack of intervention deepened the sense of abandonment and betrayal felt by the Irish people. The worst year of the famine was characterized by scenes of utter devastation. The countryside was littered with the emaciated bodies of those who succumbed to hunger and disease. The stench of death hung heavy in the air, and the once fertile lands of Ireland lay barren and desolate. The suffering was not limited to physical hunger, as the famine also brought about a profound emotional and psychological toll on the Irish population. As the famine worsened, the mass emigration of Irish people became a common sight. Hundreds of thousands boarded coffin ships, so named for their high mortality rates, in the hope of finding a better life in North America. The journey across the Atlantic was perilous, and many did not survive the arduous voyage. Those who did arrive often faced discrimination and hardship in their new homes, far from the land they were forced to leave behind. The worst year of the Irish potato famine represents a dark chapter in Irish history, one marked by unimaginable suffering, loss, and resilience. The legacy of the famine continues to shape the collective memory and identity of the Irish people. It serves as a reminder of the devastating consequences of failed governance, environmental disaster, and social inequality. In conclusion, the year 1847 stands out as the worst year of the Irish potato famine, a period defined by widespread starvation, death, and mass emigration. The Irish people endured unimaginable hardships and faced a level of suffering that is difficult to fully comprehend. The memory of the famine lives on as a testament to the resilience and strength of the Irish people in the face of adversity.